All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 5 of the podcast. Let's be real. So, I want to welcome everyone for listening and sticking by if you've listened to the first 4. Hopefully, we're going to get to 500. Let's jump into what I like to call gratitude time. So this is where we take a chance, as you, the viewer, can do this by yourself at home, or the listener. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some things that I am grateful for, as you should be grateful for many things in your life and should wake up that way. Some of the things that I am thankful for that I want to share today is the ability to be able to read, write, and learn. Also, living in a country where learning about anything is allowed and encouraged, because there are some countries in the world that they do limit what you can learn. They do limit what you are exposed to. They discourage certain things to be learned because they want you to have a specific way of thinking so that they can manipulate and control you. Not to say that there isn't some of that in America, but it is a lot less than some other countries in the world. So I'm grateful to have that opportunity. So let's jump into the main part of this podcast, which is let's be real.
What's going on?
What's going on today is we're going to be looking at failure. And some of you, this may be a very dirty word. This may be a very bad, menacing word to you because you look at failure in a very negative way. And so I'm hoping today I can teach you guys to look at failure in a different way. And so just like in the others, we're going to jump into some Webster's dictionary definitions of certain words we will be talking about, which is the most important word we're talking about today is failure. And it's a word that has become more and more popular over the last 200 years. It's used very frequently. I probably hear it on a daily basis. But failure is a noun that just means lack of success. It's very, very basic, very easy. And so another word that goes with failure is quitting or quit, which is to stop or discontinue. It's a verb. The opposite of failure is success, which is a noun, which is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose or goal or dream or whatever you want to call that part of it. And the last word we're going to look at today is learning, because that's what we're going to be doing during this podcast. It's a noun, which is the acquisition of knowledge or skills through experience, study, or being taught, which you're being taught right now. So I want to go over some very successful people and give you some context to failure and success and how they correlate and how they are, in my opinion, words that complement each other rather than sit there and be complete opposites. Yes, as far as meaning, they are complete opposite, but you cannot have one without the other, and that's what I mean by them being complementary. If you have nothing but success in life, are you really having success? Or is it because you're doing things that you can do that will never be, that you can never fail at? Which, again, I don't even think that's true, because I'm really good at making food, but I've failed sometimes because I've walked away and left the stove on too long. So the point is you have to have one with the other. And so Michael Jordan is the first one I'm going to get into. A lot of you may know Michael Jordan. He was actually cut from his own high school basketball team, went home and locked himself in his room and cried. Imagine if he would have given up. Imagine if he would have been like, oh, I didn't make the high school team. I'm done with basketball. F this. He would have missed out on 6 NBA championships, 5 MVPs, and 4 All-Star games. That's insane. Or All-Star nominations. Another one, Oprah Winfrey. Demoted from her job as a news anchor because she wasn't fit for TV. Imagine if she would have quit after that. She went on to have a multi-award-winning talk shows, and she's the most influential woman in the world. Walt Disney fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. Imagine if he would have given up. Disney wouldn't even exist today. You wouldn't even have Marvel movies right now if this guy would have quit. There would be no Avengers Endgame coming out in the next couple days. Well, actually, by the time this is out, next couple days. He goes on to create Mickey Mouse and wins 22 Academy Awards. Another person, Eminem, a high school dropout whose personal struggles with drugs and poverty culminated into him unsuccessfully trying to commit suicide. It got that bad that he was like, I'm just going to end my life. I'm not even going to quit on, making a business or anything. I'm going to quit life. And he didn't. He was unsuccessful. He failed at killing himself. And I know that I'm not trying to make light of suicide, okay? Suicide's a bad thing. But failing at suicide made him go on to become a 13-time Grammy winner and sold over 90 million albums. Last one I want to talk about, Dr. Seuss. His first book was rejected by 27 publishers. He goes on to be the best-selling children's author in history. Without him, there is no Cat in the Hat. There is no The Lorax. There is none of these iconic stories. Walk It in My Pocket. None of these. If he would have quit after 27 publishers told him no. So, using these just very small drop in the bucket successful people. There's many other successful people who just were told no multiple times, or they failed at something because they weren't getting it right the first time. The point is that failure is a learning opportunity. Failure is showing you what is not correct about what you're trying to do. When you shoot, let's go back to Michael Jordan. When you shoot a free throw and you miss, you failed. You didn't make the bucket. Why? Maybe you shot too hard. Maybe you didn't shoot enough. Maybe you shot too far to the left, to the right. Maybe you shot too high, too low. All of those failed attempts are a learning experience. It's telling you what you're not doing correctly to get that ball into the basket. You take that and apply it to anything in life. As far as looking at failure as a learning opportunity, you can learn a hell of a lot about what you're doing wrong to succeed at something. Maybe you're running a business and you're not making any profit. Maybe you're spending too much. Maybe you have the wrong material. Maybe you have the wrong product. Maybe you're not reaching the right people. Maybe you're not marketing it right. There's so many things you can learn from failing at something. And what is learning? It's the acquisition of knowledge through experience, through studying, or being taught. And that's what failure is doing to you. It's teaching you through that experience what you're doing wrong so that you can succeed, so you can accomplish the purpose that you're trying to get to. But guess what? All of these people, if they would have quit, if they would have stopped or discontinued what they were doing, they would have never had the success, the accomplishments that they achieved. Just think about that. I know a lot of you see motivational quotes. I know you see all these things, fall 7 times, get up 8. It's just, there's so many reasons why those are out there. It's because they're true. That's the truth. The other truth I want to drop on you is you're going to fail. You know why? Because everyone fails. It's a matter of how resilient you are. Are you willing to get back up on the horse? Are you willing to dust yourself off? Are you willing to put in the hours to learn how to succeed? Or are you going to be a quitter? Are you going to give up? You're going to decide, you know what? I don't want to do this. I don't want this. I thought I wanted it. It sounded nice, but I guess I'm just going to quit. Think if all of those other people went through that mindset and mentality. Think of all of the things we wouldn't have today as far as movies, music, sports, books, all these different things. And if you notice, I didn't choose all of them from basketball or sports or all of them. These are different walks of life. These are different types of people. This is different eras in life. Guess what? Failure is constant. So is success. It's always happening. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you do, how old you are, when you lived, where you lived. It's a constant. It's always there. It's always teaching us. It's always giving us the experience to learn. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to go out? Are you going to keep doing what you're doing? Or are you going to give up? You're going to be a quitter. You're going to be a failure, is what they like to say. Oh, he quit. He's a failure. Get up. Go do it. Maybe it's the 28th publisher you go to and they like your book. Maybe it's not the high school basketball team. Maybe it's the college basketball team you get on. And all of a sudden, you break out. Maybe where you're at isn't working. Maybe you need to start your own business because the job you're at isn't seeing the potential that you have. Maybe you just don't know until you try. But I see a lot of people, they're like, but what if I fail? What if I go and try to do this and I fail? You'll just be like everyone else. Everyone fails. Everyone fails. I saw a quote earlier today. It says, if you never failed at anything, you've never tried anything new. I thought that was powerful. I thought that was wow. Because if you think about it for a second, if you've never failed, that means you really don't live life. You really don't do anything. So if you want to live life, you want to go out and you want to take it by the horns and you want to have the best possible chance to do what you want to do, you're going to have to fail. I've failed many times. There's lots of things I've failed at. But you know what I do? I look at it and I learn from it. And I use it to move forward. Because that's what life is. Life is a series of failures. And I want you guys to go away from this podcast looking at failure as not a dirty word, not a bad word, not this word that people want to make it so derogatory and negative, but that it's just another word. Just like you're just going to have another failure until you hit that right shot, until you line things up perfectly from all the things you've learned and you sink a swish. Because that's what's going to happen. That's why you don't give up. Because it's all those failures that lead to that one success. And damn, that one success can pay off. And I'm not talking just in money. I'm talking about just in overall happiness, wellness, being, mentally, physically, whatever it is. So I want to end with our Q&A reflection time. I don't know why I'm talking like this. It sounds very serious. But
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. What?
Q&A reflection time. Got some questions for you. I don't have any questions from you guys yet, but I got some for you. What is it that makes you afraid to fail? Do you see failure as a bad word? I hope not after today. I hope you see it as something that's just another word in the dictionary. But most importantly, what would you do if you couldn't fail? What would you go out and do? Think about it. Would you go climb a mountain? Would you go start your own business? Would you go, I don't know, write your own book? Think about it. What would you do if you couldn't fail? And realize that question is real. You couldn't fail if you keep going and succeed. That's what I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, leave a comment, like, wherever you're watching or listening, and whether it be SoundCloud or YouTube. But most importantly, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and God bless.